Hi there, this is Rob Chadwick from ADL. I'm here to give you the first in a series of lessons on how to use the Virtual World Framework Sandbox application. Today we're just going to do some really basic stuff. We're going to navigate around the interface and maybe create a simple shape. First of all, you'll see that, how do we start? You go to vwf.adlnet.gov/ADL/sandbox. And we'll post this link somewhere so you guys can find it. You'll notice that when you go to this address, you get kind of a randomly appended session identifier. And you'll be in a blank world because it's random. I guess it's possible you could randomly hit one that exists, but you probably won't. And before I can do anything, I have to create an account. So let's go ahead and do that so that we can, you can work with this. Otherwise, you won't be able to. In this blank world, I'm going to hit Start Building. And I'm going to hit Create Profile. And I'm going to call this demo, just for now. Oh, that's not right. D-E-M-O. And the password. And I'm just going to save and log in. This will create my avatar. I'm not going to really deal with the avatar much right now. I'm going to leave him completely alone. And we'll talk about him in another time. What I do want to talk about is how to navigate this interface. First and foremost, the thing that is kind of difficult to get the hang of is moving the camera around. Now, this thing is designed for a 3-button mouse, and we will work on creating some alternative input methods. But let me show you a couple of the different camera motions and how you can kind of go to anywhere you need to be in space. First of all, by default, you're in orbit mode, and you'll see the icon here is blue, orbit camera. In this mode, when I push down the right mouse button and I pull, I'll rotate. Pull down and left to right. Rotates around some kind of invisible notional point in space. If I roll the mouse wheel, I'll zoom to that invisible point in space. And here's the real trick. If I push the middle mouse button and pull up and down, or side to side, I can slide that invisible point in space around. So this is a little bit tricky, right? I'm sliding the invisible point in space, and when I rotate now, I'm going to rotate past this guy's back because I moved the point in space away. You get the hang of this pretty quickly. Later I'll show you how to kind of focus in on a particular object. That's the most basic and simplest way to move the camera. Now you can place it anywhere in space that you need to be if you just learn to navigate with that. Now again, if you don't have a 3-button mouse, this is going to be very difficult, and I'm sorry I don't have a lot of answers for you right now. So that's very simple, and that's basic motion. The camera modes are on the toolbar across here at the top. Let's go over to this bird, which is the free camera. The free camera works very similarly, but in this case, I'm going to press and drag the right mouse button, and you'll see rather than orbiting a point in space, I'm turning on a dime, kind of like you're rotating your head. In this mode, I can look all around me, and if I roll the mouse wheel, I'll just go forwards. Similarly, if I push and pull the middle mouse button down, or push the mouse wheel, you slide around in space. You kind of pan the camera. So, to review, in orbit mode, I orbit an invisible point in space by pushing and dragging the right mouse button. I can slide that point in space around by pushing and dragging the center mouse button, or the mouse wheel, if your wheel is your third mouse button. It is for most people. And I can zoom to that point by rolling the wheel. In free mode, I can turn on a dime, turn the head exactly, and I can fly forwards and backwards in space by rolling the wheel. In a similar way, I can click and drag left to right to move the camera. So that is the most basic camera motion. Let's go ahead and do one other type, and you'll see there's actually 4 types of camera motion up here. I'm not going to cover the navigate camera because it's a little bit strange, and I'm not sure it's really all that useful. But when you're logged in, and this third mode will only work when you're logged in. The other two you can actually do when you're not logged in, you have no avatar. If you have an avatar and you click the head, you'll be placed immediately behind your avatar. If I press W, the avatar walks forward, and the camera goes with it. When I click and drag with the right mouse button, the avatar will turn and the camera will follow behind him. In this mode, you can't move up and down at all. You're always stuck at this angle behind his head. When you roll the mouse wheel in first-person mode, you'll jump into his head. So you're now actually right on top of the avatar's head. And if you use W to walk the avatar forwards, you'll walk forwards with it. In fact, I think I can look down and actually see my feet, right? That's not real pretty, but it gives you a very good idea of what's going on. And when I click and drag, the avatar turns just like it did when I was zoomed out. So if I roll the mouse wheel, I'll zoom out, and now I'm behind him again. So that's it. That's the basic methodology of operating the camera. I'm going to try to keep these short and sweet so people can look up exactly the information they need. So I'm going to wrap this one up, and in the next demo, we'll talk about selecting objects, and maybe we'll create one.